Heyo folks, Liniko here. Welcome to my Pokemon episode 37 review. This episode titled Rockruff and the Guardian Deity of Akala Island, I believe. Now, this is the episode where Rockruff evolved. Ash's Rockruff evolved, and it was the debut episode of Dusk Lycanroc. However, they called it something else, I believe. I think they called it Twilight Form. That's what Kukui called it when it happened. I wanted to do this review a couple days earlier. I actually did do a review much earlier than before. But copyright happens. I might actually end up uploading that one just for those who are interested in it. But I might not. I'm going to try to make this one shorter than it actually, so let's see how that goes. But let's talk about this episode. So, it actually starts at nighttime, which at first made me think, hey, is this what's going to happen? Is Ash's Rockruff going to call into the nighttime one like Gladians, or is it going to just be like a gradual day-by-day thing? But instead, that's not what the episode's about. It's actually just zooming in on everyone in the cabin, all the guys just sleeping and everything, but except for Rockruff, who's actually concerned about what it did during a battle against Olivia, where it actually knocked it out of Rowlet by accident. So it's so concerned about that, it just can't get it to sleep, so it decides to actually leave and just go out training and doing some rock dodging practice by using Rock Throw on a cliffside and such. Pikachu actually catches sight of Rockruff leaving and decides to wake up Ash. That is BS right there. How did I get frozen? Fine, whatever. Let's not focus on that. Back to this. Pikachu wakes up Ash. Ash realizes Rockruff is gone, and they both follow after wherever Rockruff went. As I mentioned before, Rockruff is actually going through some training. So, how are you moving after you're frozen? Seriously. Okay, whatever. So, Rockruff is training until the cliffside that it's using to dodge, or using in this dodge training, is completely crushed by a telekinetic force revealed to be Tapu Lele, the guardian deity Pokemon of Akala Island. Now, this was pretty cool, though, when I saw it, because at first I was just completely astonished by what could have possibly caused the whole little cliffside to just get crushed. I thought it was just Tapu Lele at first. Just it landing in general just destroyed the whole area. But no, it's just a psychic type, so that happened. But Tapu Lele sees that Rockruff is a little antsy and it's been doing some fighting, so Tapu Lele actually decides that it wants to play around and fight Rockruff too. Emphasis on play around. Because how? Okay, come on, my Vigavolt can't even land that, and he has wide lands. Okay, fine. Oh, jeez. So, back to what I was saying. Playing around, whatever that amounts to for Tapu Lele, is absolute hell for a Pokemon that is not up to par with a Tapu. So, what happens is Rockruff, of course, accepts the challenge. Tapu Lele emits the Psychic Terrain from its ability, and Rockruff, being ever so ballsy, even though it's Ash's Pokemon, and of course it can have a lot of potential, it's still a first stage Pokemon against a legendary, and you can imagine how that fight goes if you did not even watch the episode. So, Rockruff takes a tackle, just tackles or jumps and leaps at Tapu Lele. Tapu Lele leans to the side, holds him with a psychic force, and then just pushes him away. Rockruff catches itself, goes for another dash, but Tapu Lele completely dodges this one, except Rockruff just actually does a Rock Throw to follow up. However, Tapu Lele actually backs up amidst some sort of Giga Impact-esque attack and just rams right into Rockruff, who's just, while in the middle of trying to get up, is completely swamped with a barrage of physical hits on Tapu Lele. Like, this thing's a physical type Pokemon, yet it's a psychic type Pokemon, yet it looks like it's using close combat on Rockruff. It's destroying it and knocking it away. And then Tapu Lele is just circling around Rockruff, kind of giggling and laughing because it's just having a good time, I guess, or it just wants to play around even more. Rockruff, of course, is just kind of unconscious from the absolute beating it received. But, yeah. this does not continue because Ash and Pikachu are calling out for Rockruff, and Tapu Lele hears this and decides to dip before anyone sees it. Not before getting off some glitter that Ash and Pikachu see, which kind of gives them the hint that Tapu Lele was there. But they do see Rockruff, and he's on the ground, he's injured, and they're worried and thinking, oh no, who did this to you? They wake up Rockruff, but Rockruff kind of backs away from them. And then Ash, of course, approaches Rockruff, which is never a good idea. That's the third Zap Cannon that you've landed. What the heck is going on here? So that, okay, fine, confide me. Tell me your secrets. Tell me how Ash has managed to get a Spooper special Lycanroc. Go ahead and tell me. Here, I'll tell you at the end of this episode. Haha. But, yeah, that happens. Ash is actually attacked by Rockruff in the end, and is bitten by Rockruff, who quickly realizes what it just did and decides to run away into a bush. Ash will chase after it, but that's all we see from that scene, because in the next scene, it goes to daytime with Ash's friends and the adults, Kukui and Olivia, wondering where they've been, and they're just worried, looking for them, until Ash and Pikachu finally show up with the ugliest faces you will ever see. They look like they've been mummified. They look like they did in that one episode with the mushroom, whatever, the one that has strength sap. That one, that little guy. I actually hope Ash would have catch that Pokemon, but he didn't do it, so that happened. But as far as that episode, that happened. Ugh. So Ash tells the whole gang the whole situation with Rockruff, telling him how he found it, and that Rockruff attacked him, then Rockruff left, and then Olivia puts two and two together, figures out, okay, that's just because Rockruff is evolving. Whenever a Rockruff is getting closer to evolution, it gets unruly, stops listening to his trainer, and ends up leaving at one point. But when it comes back as a Lycanroc, whether it's midday or midnight, depends on whichever time of day it evolves, or whatever it sees when it evolves. And that's kind of cool, but of course, Ash is kind of ecstatic that his Rockruff is near evolution, but he's still worried about Rockruff. He doesn't know where it went, and he wants to find his Pokemon, because that's just the way Ash is. So the whole gang actually just decides to just help out Ash. Sophocles pulls out some sort of machine device, hologram thing that's apparently able to come up with possible locations of Rockruff, and Kyoei pulls out Charizard to fly and get a bird's eye view of things, and of course Ash is very grateful for this. It cuts back to Rockruff on a cliff, not a cliffside this time, just a straight up cliff, walking, slightly injured, and then it begins to howl, I believe, and then it cuts to a midnight form Lycanroc, but it's actually Gladian's midnight form Lycanroc. This happens, and that's kind of cool. It just gets up. Gladian says what's wrong, but Lycanroc just kind of just goes. Gladian says be back quickly, and then he goes down into this cave. When he gets done and he reaches the end of the cave, he pulls out a Premier Ball, throws it up, and then out comes Type Null. So Gladian does have Type Null. He's keeping it hidden. But as soon as Type Null comes out, it's kind of freaking out, because it's like, hey, what's going on here? Huh? This is in the inside of a Pokeball. And he has to console it so that no one finds out that they're down here, and then of course he tells it that it can't be seen, because there are people looking for them, and if you know the games, you know for sure which people are looking for them. So I think that's pretty much it. He just only consoles the Type Null. He doesn't really say much else, and that's pretty much the whole scene. That's a big tease to just hand out at you, It's just Type Null is here. It's there. Episode 37. Type Null is a thing, and that's that little scene. But I think it cuts back to Rockruff, who is spooked. I'm spooked. Sorry, by a Fearow, and is completely thrown off by it, and it falls down off the cliff into a river, and we pretty much don't even see too much of it ever again until I think it was... No, actually, we do see that incident. Oh, shoot. It's actually the Rockruff cliff scene, then Ash's friends look for it, and then Rockruff howl, yeah, then he's spooked by the Fearow, and then, I don't know, I'm getting the order mixed up, but I'm just gonna say this. Rockruff is eventually found, it's crawled out of the water, I guess, but it's unconscious, it's just lying down on the ground, and Gladian's Lycanroc finds it, but then also Olivia's Lycanroc finds it, and just to avoid confusion, I'm just going to call Gladian's Lycanroc Nightenroc, and I'll call Olivia's Lycanroc Dayenroc. Kind of punny, kind of something. I would probably name my Lycanroc that if I didn't name it Lapis. But, that's pretty much that incident, and the Lycanrocs kind of just stare and glare at each other. I don't know if it's either because of their counterparts, so they have issues with each other, or if it's because they know each other, and how Dayenroc was defeated by Nightenroc, because obviously Gladian has the Rock EMZ. But Nightenroc picks up Rockruff, kind of gestures Dayenroc to follow it to this area where Tapu Lele is just dancing around, and there's a Yungoos that's kind of bruised up, and it walks over to wherever Tapu Lele is. Tapu Lele is just dancing around the area, not really caring what's going on, but its glitter, scales, whatever, that has healing effects, are just dazzling all over the area. It heals the Yungoos, who's of course happy, but I don't think Tapu Lele really realizes what's happening here. I don't think it really cares. It's that kind of Pokemon that's just, yeah, this is nice, woohoo, whatever. But that happens, and I think the two Lycanrocs arrive where Tapu Lele is, and Nightenroc kind of just puts Rockruff down onto the little arena area. This is actually where Tapu Lele was. It was where Ash fought Olivia. Nightenroc puts Rockruff down, and he's just like barks at Lele, and I'm such as like, hey! Tapu Lele turns around like, oh, I'm sorry, are you talking to me with that tone? And Nightenroc's like, heal this kid over here, and of course, I'm like, we're just hearing barks and wolves and such from Nightenroc, and well, that's happening, but I'm assuming Tapu Lele did not like its tone, because it hits Nightenroc with a hard psychic into it, just launches it away. It lands in a bush, so don't worry about that. It's not like completely in the sky on the way to the next island. But Dayenroc sees this, takes note of the fact that it should probably watch what it says, or whatever the tone of it says, kind of just picks Rockruff up again, and puts him down, kind of calls out to Tapu Lele, this time in a more respectful manner, I guess, and just, I guess, asks Tapu Lele to kindly heal its friend here. Tapu Lele turns around, realizes, hey, that's my punching bag buddy, and happily moves on over to try and heal Rockruff. I say try because it actually fails. I guess the damage Rockruff sustained in that fight was just too much for it to be healed by even the Pokemon that caused the damage. So, the Pokemon that caused said damage, Tapu Lele, is completely just pissed that it failed, or that Rockruff just isn't up, and it's just putting on the roughest face ever you will ever see. Like, say for instance, you did something absolutely horrible, and then you got the whole crowd looking at you with that one glare. That's pretty much Tapu Lele, except times 3. And it's just getting ready to psychic Rockruff. Like, why would you even do that? That Tapu Lele, you're just supposed to be the protector. And then I quickly realized, Tapu Lele doesn't really give a damn about what happens, does it? It is just a Pokemon that cares about where it lives and whatnot. But surely it does that. That's just my first impressions of it by this episode. But let's not worry about that. Dayenroc covers up Rockruff and instead takes the Psychic. I'm not sure how that works. I guess it's just whatever Tapu Lele is looking at is what's gonna fly. So Dayenroc got in there just in time, gets launched right next to Nightenroc, they both get back up and they both approach Tapu Lele in an effort to combat it, I guess. But it cuts to Ash, Olivia, and Kukui, who are looking around for Rockruff again. But until the Yungoos that was previously healed by Tapu Lele kind of just leaps out and gets moving. It's giving off, it's leaving a trail, I guess is what I should say, a trail of the glitter, the healing stuff that Tapu Lele gave it, and Ash picks this up, and then he picks up that, hey, this is Tapu Lele stuff, and this is also what I found when I found when I saw Rockruff. Olivia once again puts 2 and 2 together and figures it's possible that Rockruff is with Tapu Lele right now. And maybe they're at the roots of life, which is also not a good thing. Ash wonders why, and then Olivia tells him that this is because Tapu Lele is a playful Pokemon. It's kind of a rough housing. It likes to fight. Why is it not a fighting fairy type then? I don't know. But it's highly concerned because it's possible that if it fights too much, even Pokemon that is fighting will sustain too much damage, and of course it may not be able to continue living. So when Ash hears this, he kind of just gets moving to the ruins of life the fastest way he can, whatever direction he deems the closest or easiest. And Olivia and Kukui follow, and yeah, that's pretty much that scene. Move on to the Lycanrocs, like facing Tapu Lele. Ash kind of pops up and he sees this happening. He's like, oh no. Oh, Tapu Lele is of course getting ready to like give him that look that they're about to get blown away. However, Ash kind of just does his thing, jumps over Rockruff, does his T-pose, you will not do this, you will not hurt my friend pose, and whatever. Ash, it gets kind of old. It gets the point across that you really care about Rockruff, but it's getting kind of old. But Tapu Lele kind of just drops its attacking stance, stares at Lycanroc and Ash, and I guess Rockruff too, and then it just smiles and it just flies at them. Ash gets down and covers up Rockruff while the Lycanrocs kind of surround them in a defensive stance. However, Tapu Lele kind of catches Nightrock off guard and just kisses it, I guess. No, it's using Draining Kiss on Nightrock, and it just completely drains it of his HP. And then Nightrock's just unconscious. Nightrock's next, it just moves over to the dog, sucks the dog's cheek, and the other dog's down. Then it moves over to Ash, sucks his cheek, he's down, everyone's down. Kukui and Olivia, I think, was getting ready to go in there and try to figure out the best way to stop the situation, but Kukui stops her and tells her to just wait and pay attention, or at least take note of what's happening, because Tapu Lele begins to circle around all of them and then uses a healing move, a heal-esque move, and just uses Heal Pulse. I'm just gonna call it Heal Pulse. It's pretty much possibly Heal Pulse, and it's actually healing Rockruff with all the energy it gathered from the Lycanrocs and Ash. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. That'd be an interesting mechanic for Draining Kiss and Heal Pulse to have such a good combo move together. But the Rockruff is fully healed. Rockruff is completely saved, and it gets up, sees Ash is right next to it, kind of get a couple licks in the face, and our buddy boy is up. The Lycanrocs eventually get up too. Tapu Lele flies off into the sunset. Good old Stonebark, Rockruff I mean, sees the sunset, is completely in awe of it and completely staring at it. And this is that scene where pretty much Rockruff starts walking closer and closer to the sunset light. It's looking at its eyes are orange. Like, this is what it sees. This is what it sees. Like, barely even the time of day. It's like, when it sees it at this certain point in its life, that's when the evolution will happen. And as the sun is going down, there's a green flash, and right then, the green reflects in Rockruff's eyes, and then it starts to howl, and then it evolves. Then the usual blue light surrounds it, and it's glowing green, and it's evolving. The other Lycanrocs are also gathered right by its side, and they're also howling. Ash is mystified, because this is evolution, he said. And yeah, Rockruff is evolving. The jutted rocks on its neck just start to jut out, get bigger. It's just changing mostly into like it's quadrupedal Lycanroc, the midday form. However, it gets a huge mane like the midnight form, and by the time the green light is off of it, it's completely different from both of them. It's an orange-furred Lycanroc, sorry. Different from Night and Rock, different from Day and Rock. It is Dusk and Rock. It is here. It looks awesome in the anime. However, in the games, it doesn't look that astonishing to me. It doesn't look that different. But back to the anime. It looks awesome. It completely howls. Everyone's just howling, and Ash is practically howling in happiness. He goes over there, hugs his new Lycanroc. Pikachu and all his other Pokemon are out there too, and they're actually coming and hug their new buddy in his newfound power and form. He's happy. He's not unruly anymore. Good times for everyone. Rotom deck shows up, tries to scan Lycanroc, Ash's Lycanroc, Duskenroc, but it actually has no information on it, so it's completely surprised by this. Kukui is like, oh, this is possible. This is unbelievable. This is a completely new form then. And he dubs it Twilight Lycanroc, since that was when it evolved. And its eyes are also green. I guess that kind of relates to that, since there was the green flash that caused it. Olivia's actually never seen a green flash before, so it's also most likely that she has never seen a dusk form Lycanroc. So it's a happy scene for everyone. We get a new member of the family. Dusk form Lycanroc is actually in the little credit scene at the end where Ash walks up and everyone's there. It's not Rockruff anymore, it's the Dusk form Lycanroc. So happy days and happy times. Dusk Lycanroc is here to save the anime's life, I guess. I don't think the anime's in danger. So the anime's not in danger. But that's pretty much the whole day of the episode. Then it cuts to everyone on the ship. They're actually leaving Akala Island. We're not going to see that beautiful, wonderful place anymore. And, yeah, Mallow's crying, saying goodbye, Akala Island, and Olivia's like, don't worry, you may see it again someday. And Rotom Deck's taking pictures of Lycanroc. Ash is super happy. Walks up to Lycanroc, his Lycanroc, and he's like, this is it. We're getting ever closer to becoming the Pokemon Master, or whatever. I don't know what he said, actually. I don't think I remember what he said. But that's the whole episode. They're going back to Melemele Island. We're going back to those wonderful school days. And, yeah. That's the episode. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm sorry if I said certain things a lot over and over. Please point those out. I'm willing to take some critiques here, because I do like reviewing certain Pokemon episodes. I don't review them all, because I just don't... None of them give me that kind of feeling like this episode gave. Yeah, that was kind of a downer. But, I did like this episode a lot. Let me know if you guys liked it. If you like this video, leave a like. Comment down below your favorite scene and some critiques. I would appreciate that greatly, because I do enjoy reviewing this series, because it's a childhood series. I will never give up Pokemon, no matter what happens to it. No matter how it looks, it's still Pokemon in my eyes, and I love that series. I'm actually going to do another Pokemon video in the later future, so until then, guys, see ya.